The Editor-in-Chief is live in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, welcome to the program. I'm Duncan Garner, and this is Editor-in-Chief Live. Great to have your company this morning. Welcome to the program, welcome to the podcast. Today, Lotto balloons to a whopping $43 million. $43 million, imagine that. Dare to dream, anyone? To give you a major reality check, I'll tell you what your chances are of winning, and have you ever won. What would you do with that kind of money? 0800 863 293 or text me 3598. We're live right across social media. We're on Rover, YouTube, TikTok Live. We're on Twitch Live, Facebook as well. You can see all the details there. Hannah McQueen will tell us shortly what saving instead of gambling can do for us as well. Prepare to be drop dead gobsmacked to some of these numbers too. And do you think you're good with money? Leave us a comment. Get involved and have your say. If you're watching on YouTube, you can leave us a message. It's really easy. Boot camps for naughty teenagers who keep reoffending. I support them. I'll tell you why shortly. The experts say they won't work, but I beg to differ. I'm Duncan at rover.nz. It's news time. Here's MediaWorks Deputy News Editor, Grace Cocker.
Online porn is a greater risk to young people than many realise. Social platform X now officially will allow sexual content. Joe Robertson says we're downplaying the harm it can cause. Cybercrime has caused more than $6.6 million in losses in the first quarter of the year. CERT-NZ Acting Director John Mollo says the total is being pushed up by some pretty big blows, equating it to about $100,000. A damning report shows more young people are committing crimes. The Ministry of Justice Youth Report found the number of those aged 10 to 13 facing the likes of court action rose at 9%. It increased up to 31% for teens aged 14 to 16. Māori are also overrepresented in the youth justice system. A tradie clothing business wants to raise more awareness around what it calls Invisibility Orange. Diamond Workwear is donating half the profits from each sale of its high-vis shirts to mental health charities. Its founder wants to start a conversation amongst workers. People who commit sex crimes against children in Louisiana could be forced to undergo surgical castration in the future. It will now go to the state governor to be signed into law. Narendra Modi is set to remain as India's Prime Minister for a third term despite a major drop in support for his party. Early results show BJP will need members of its alliance to form a government. To sport, where the Wellington Phoenix goalkeeper Alex Paulson's completed a landmark move to the Premier League. The 21-year-old New Zealander signed with Bournemouth in a deal believed to be worth close to $4 million. This morning's T20 World Cup match between England and Scotland in Barbados has been washed out. And 22-year-old Yannick Sinner is the new men's tennis number one. The Italian won his French Open quarter-final in straight sets, while Novak Djokovic pulled out of the tournament with a knee injury. That's news in sport.
All right, thanks, Grace. Twitter. What's happening on Twitter? Twitter and pornography and kids.
Yeah, so they're allowing basically quite explicit content as long as it's consensual, which just seems quite mind-boggling. So I'm not sure how you work out that it was consensual content. I mean, Twitter at the moment, though, I've gone on and followed links and it opened up horrific content, like quite explicit.
Really?
That I'm not sure young people should be able to access.
I once I did a whole talk show on pornography, and if we were to sit down and watch all the pornography available in New Zealand today, it was 80. The figure last year was 87 years.
I have no words for that.
That's extremely high. So there's 87 years of pornography available. If you were to sit down and watch it from woe to go.
It's just so common now. It's everywhere.
Yeah, you sit there 87 years. What worries me too, I went home after that talk show and spoke to my kids about this. And I went back and my son was playing basketball with his young mates. And I said to them when I hopped out of the car, Pornhub. And they all looked at me and said, what? They knew. They looked guilty.
Yeah.
And these boys 13.
It's extreme how young the boys are, and girls, any age, I guess, any gender, sorry, how young they're getting and their ability to access it. And it's everywhere. It's kind of terrifying. Yeah,
it kind of is, isn't it? But it's life too. I mean, the horses bolted, don't you think?
Oh, we're way far out the gate. Way far out the gate now.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, good stuff, Grace.
Duncan Garner.
Okay, it is time to, I think I might slam it. Let's do that. Let's slam dunk.
It's the Slam Dunk.
All right, good morning. 0800 863 293 is the number. Now, I've got some seriously good news to share with you, and you will shake your head and you will not want to believe it because of what you hear and see, and also because of prejudice and belief and all that. But whatever we've done, we're succeeding with youth crime, according to the Justice Ministry report yesterday. It's halved in the past decade. Take a bow. The cops, parents, youth workers, success of government policies. It is a success. And we don't shout about our wins nearly enough, right? Our young people have got the message seemingly, and it's working. Isn't it great? We don't lock them up and throw away the key. We work alongside them. Sadly, here's the bad bit. Youth crime has risen a staggering 26% in just the past year. So long-term trend is down. The short-term trend has bounced up big time. 26% increase just in the past year. It's exploded. More young people are committing crimes, many for the first time, stealing, assault, theft, all that sort of thing. But the group of them is small enough that surely we can do something to fix it. For a start, most of our teens are excellent, so let's applaud them. Law-abiding, which is great. So put away the prejudice. This is not something we can't sort. Last year, 877 14 to 16-year-olds faced police action. 877 for the serious and persistent offending. That's 26% increase on the year before. But it still is less than 1,000 bad young buggers. And not all are lost causes. Less than 1,000 to work with and get right. We must not give up. I'm personally aware that the cops take these bad kids out fishing. And they try and sort it before they commit crime. So they take them away on these day trips. And the results are amazing, but no one talks about it. In New Zealand, of the bad young kids, 90% of 10 to 13-year-olds don't face court. 70% of 14 to 16-year-old offenders stay out of court. So we're desperately trying to stop them ending up in custody and putting them into the hands of those who will make them gang members for life. So we must avoid that. The report says that police are taking proceedings against Māori children, more than 2 times the rate of other children. So that's concerning. Those who say the system's racist, there we go. There's some evidence for them and some ammo. Adding boot camps as an option to straighten out these kids has copped huge criticism that they don't work. Now, I hear that, but surely boot camps is the wrong term. It conjures up all sorts of 1970s images. But for one, I support them, some kind of modern approach to boot camps. Send these kids away for a straightening up. Their home life is clearly a poor influence, so let's see what can be achieved and to show them that 3 meals a day and some sleeps actually can produce something. Show them structure and routine. Take away the gang influence. Watch them grow and identify what they're good at and can be achieved. Then bring in Taina Pora, and he can tell them that prison for 22 years ain't good. There's not good guys in there. There's tough guys who will steal your days. Then bring in Willie Apiata to show them what you can be, and then bring in Richie McCaw, and he'll seal the deal. Fewer than 1,000 kids that need to hurry up. Surely we can do this.
Duncan Garner.
Okay, 0800 863 293 is the number. Give us a call. Lotto's massive $38 million jackpot wasn't won on Saturday, so it's now rolled over to $43 million for tonight's draw. Can you imagine it? That's 40 new Teslas, 200 houses in Southland, or 2 in Auckland. Someone has to win, right? You've got to be in to win, all that sort of thing. Now, we overestimate the thought that we can win Lotto. The odds are way jacked against us. We fooled ourselves into sort of magical thinking that we can do this. Otago University statistician Martin Hazelton crunched the numbers for us. And to bring us thundering down to earth, Martin, g'day, nice to have you on the program. Nope, we haven't got Martin. We'll come back to Martin. We've got Martin. Martin, g'day. No, this is what you call a cock-up, folks. This is. I'm not going to go to Martin because Martin's not there. Hannah McQueen is with us though to tell us don't gamble and don't do all these bad things because it's not going to do you any good. Hannah, g'day. Nice to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in. My dad took 2 $15 Lotto tickets. Mm-hmm. Okay, his whole life. For 20 years. He won $800. A couple of $20, $40. Didn't really talk about it much. What could that $30 a week over 20 years have been? Well, it ended up being about $1,000 all up, you know?
Yeah. Well, I guess that's $1,500 a year for 20 years. That's a lot, right? Like you could buy a new car with that if you wanted to. You could do some renovations back in the day, right? That would have probably got you a new kitchen. Pay off your mortgage or invest. Like it does unlock many doors, but I guess on a weekly amount it feels just so paltry, like who cares, and you've got to be in to win.
That's right. But the chances are, we'll hear shortly about the chances, but the chances are
bleak.
Something like 1 in 38 million or something,
yes.
you know. Like, John Key once said to me, don't buy Lotto, it's 1 in 30 something million, whatever, and he was right.
Yes. It is. Well, I think that, for some people it forms hope or a distraction, or they just love the process of it, right? You know, watching something and seeing if you win. But for many of us, if that's your financial plan, that I'm going to win Lotto and my retirement's going to be sussed, well, that's not that's concerning. But I think something like 24% of people are hanging their hat on, I'm going to win the Lotto.
Tell me about this, because this is interesting, this survey. 800 people surveyed. What's your retirement plan? And 1 in 4, or 24% of people, 25% of people, 26%, whatever it was, said winning Lotto.
I know.
Shit.
Well, yes. And so I think that...
It is. Sorry to say it's shit, but shit.
I know. Well, it's devastating as well, right? Like, for some people, you think maybe it's tongue-in-cheek, but I think a lot of people have given up hope that they can, in fact, get ahead. So, well, let's all in on red, right?
Yeah. Have you ever gambled?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dab hand at poker.
Oh yeah, but you're
no,
not.
I don't gamble as a rule. I don't buy lotto tickets.
No, neither do I. I don't buy lotto tickets either. I don't know why. I used to scratch the golden kiwi for the golden kiwi. Yeah. Dad used to buy those as well, and we never won anything.
No, but it can be fun. I mean, I think now the today's equivalent is the Timu wheel, right? Like where you win,
talk about that in a minute.
where you win something. But it's different. But for my clients, I probably 20% of them still buy lotto tickets because they just enjoy the process. They've had their numbers for years, and that's their non-negotiable.
But the thing is, someone has to win. So the whole in to win thing. That's why we do it, right?
Yeah. Well, I've worked with 3 or 4 lotto winners, and we're talking $20 million that they're winning, and I've worked with 2 that lost everything, right? So they spent it all. But of those that win, I think the key is that you just need to breathe, don't tell anyone, and work out what you're going to do. Get help to get a plan so you can live the life you want for the rest of your days.
Well, that's also the thing, isn't it? Don't tell anyone. What would you? God, it'd be so hard not to. I mean, if someone tonight wins $43 million, if I win $43 million tonight, do you think I'll be here tomorrow?
I think some people would be, because the structure of the routine is important. I mean, for one First Division winner that I worked with, they called me. Well, they were working with us to start with,
right?
And then they won, a casual $20 million just popped into the account. Like, it was next level.
Yes.
And I'm like, do not tell anyone yet. Let's get a plan for you.
Yes.
And so what they ended up doing was going downstairs to get their exercycle from 20 years ago, brought it back up because they had all this energy to burn, and just cycled on the exercycle for the rest of the day.
So what did they do ultimately? That person that won $20 million.
We got a plan. So we put around 70% to one side to focus on growing wealth, and we built up a property portfolio and kind of a mix of property and funds. And they spent 30% on paying off their mortgages, their kids' mortgages, upgrading their home, their cars.
Pay off debt, right? Debts.
Pay off mortgages and debt, yeah.
I knew someone that won $6 million at a sports club that I was involved with. And so they did up the house, they bought cars for the kids and I think another house, and put about 40% of it with a wealth manager.
Yes.
He's back working in a supermarket. This was 20 years ago.
Yeah. Well, 30%.
He's back working because he wants to feel
Well,
busy.
you want the structure of it, you want the friends. For a lot of people, that gives you a sense of purpose. Even if you give away the income that you earn, that would be pretty satisfying. But for this particular couple, the guy continued to work because that was what he enjoyed.
Yeah. What about the pokies? Is that still one of our biggest problems? It's always in the poor neighbourhoods. They don't grow in the rich neighbourhoods. They grow in the poor neighbourhoods.
Yeah, I'm not sure how far it infiltrates into families, but it feels like Lotto's the common kind of denominator for if you're going to put a casual $30 towards something, then just a little bit towards Lotto each week.
Is it toxic, Lotto? Do you think, or does it have its place?
Well, I think if you spend consciously, like you're spending something, I think the idea of winning something is kind of a bit crazy.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Some people just enjoy that process, and for $30 a week, you spend it there, spend it on coffee, spend it towards a holiday fund. It doesn't matter. Like, you're allowed to enjoy your life.
Yes.
Just work out how much enjoyment it gives you, and are you still going to be okay?
What are you seeing with New Zealanders at the moment? Because everyone's doing it hard, right? Cost of living through the roof. We know all that, and I'll get to some of the comments shortly that are coming in. But what do you see? What are you seeing?
Well, I think that it depends on the rhetoric you want to tell yourself. I personally think that things are looking up, right? Like, let's face the sun. Well, interest rates will be down by the end of the year, so you've got to be able to hold on for another 6 months. With a 1% drop in interest rates, you expect a 10% lift in house prices. So you've got to get yourself ready to benefit from that. It has been hard, but that just means we need to be better.
Yeah. Do you see, though, that when you're turning families around, what's the biggest issue?
the unconscious spending, just inefficiencies. It's got nothing to do with the cost of living.
Yeah, we're lazy. We're lazy and we're also complacent, and we buy stuff we don't need.
Yeah, and we don't have a plan. We don't know what to aim for. Like, Kiwis are particularly bad at setting financial goals. It's like we're almost ashamed to want to get ahead. And it's like, well, that should be the baseline.
Well, we shouldn't be ashamed of wealth. Wealth is something to aspire to. This whole New Zealand attitude, you're right, that, the rich guy next door, I want to be like him.
Yeah. Well, at the very least, you want options. Options, whether you have to work, whether you can help your kids, whether you can live where you want, whether you can have a batch. Those are just options. And you work so hard. Everyone should have options. It's just they don't have a plan to get them. They kind of think they're going to drift towards success.
So it doesn't come at your door and knock on and say, here it is for you. Every now and then someone will get some luck, but...
Yeah, well, 1 in 38 million times it will do that.
Yeah, good. Are you going to buy a Lotto ticket tonight?
No.
No, you're not there. Hey, Hannah, always good to see you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Okay.
Duncan Garner.
0800 863 293. Will you take a ticket? And have you ever won Lotto? Lotto's Powerball's massive $38 million jackpot wasn't won on Saturday. It's now rolled over to $43 million for tonight's draw. Can you imagine it? I mean, that's 40 new Teslas. Just go and grab them. 200 houses in Southland's Nightcaps district. Yeah, there we go. Or 2 homes in Auckland's Herne Bay. Someone has to win, right? So you've got to be in to win. All that sort of stuff. My dad used to do it. Someone has to be there to win it. But what are the actual chances you might win? We usually overestimate the likelihood of winning Lotto. We fool ourselves with magical thinking, like believing in fate or lucky numbers, or many winning tickets have been bought at the shop, so we go there. Otago University statistician Martin Hazelton crunched the numbers for us, and to bring us thundering down to earth, Martin, nice to have you on the program.
Kia ora, Duncan.
The odds are, what are they? Talk us through some of these numbers.
Okay, so you got a single line. Your odds of winning are a shade better than 1 in 40 million. Put that in perspective, your chances of getting declared a saint by the Roman Catholic Church are about 1 in 20 million.
Yes, yeah. And so, but people still do this, so their mentality is that let's go and do this. I don't think they often think about those numbers that you've just said, do they?
Well, people are not great, at dealing with small chances. Okay, as you said before, we have a tendency to overestimate our chances, particularly when they're small. And as I said, we're just really bad at distinguishing between the quite unlikely and the hugely unlikely.
Yes. What about when it comes to things like road crashes? Like if we were driving a car today, I think the last time I looked, it's like 1 in 107 chances, I think, or something like that. So it really gives it some perspective, doesn't it?
Yes. So, I mean, another example is that if you buy a 10-line power dip, your chances of winning on that are about the same as your chances of dying driving 40 kilometres on New Zealand's roads. Wow.
It really gives it some perspective. But we still go and do this because someone has to win, right? So for someone to win that 1 in 40 million, can you explain further what 1 in 40 million is? I think we understand what 1 in 40 million is, but it's just you've just got to be so damn lucky, don't you?
Yeah, and I say, it's kind of impossible to explain how lucky that is because we simply can't cope with differences between 1 in 40 million or 1 in 4 million or 1 in 40,000. They're all just, really, really unlikely. And so what happens is that you replace any kind of objective or rational interpretation of the probability with just gut feeling and hope.
Yeah, that's right. What's a country of 40 million? Let's look at a country the size of 40 million. So 1 in a chance of 40 million. So we've got 5 million. Australia's got what? Australia 30 million these days, or are they 25?
Shade under, yeah. So about that.
Yeah, so it's New Zealand and Australia. So it's New Zealand and Australia, and another country of 10 million people.
Yeah, I mean, pretty unlikely, as you said. Yeah. Another stat you can compare it with, again, if you're going to buy a 10-line power dips, your chances of winning are about the same as dying from getting hit by a meteorite. Yeah,
now say that again, because I found that interesting, that comparison. So say that again.
So your chances of dying from a meteorite strike are about the same as your chances of winning with a 10-line power dip.
Oh, dear. That really gives it massive perspective for me. It gives it astonishing perspective in the sense that we're not going to get hit by a meteorite today, just like we're not going to win Lotto. We're not going to get hit by a meteorite, are we?
Well, I hope not.
Okay, I appreciate your time on the program. Bloody interesting.
3 questions from the editor-in-chief.
Okay, 0800 863 293 is the number. Give us a call. Let us know if you won Lotto. Has it changed your life? What's it done? And are you taking a ticket tonight? So,
1.
at number 1, okay, is the online shopping site Temu too good to be true? Now, a British father claimed that his 11-year-old daughter, Chloe Norris, suffered third-degree burns after using nail glue bought from this site in December last year. So, investigative journalist Ali Flynn bought and checked a range of products and found a silver necklace contained 10 times more lead than is legally allowed in the UK. A gold chain had twice the acceptable levels of lead. Now, experts say when lead builds up in the body, often over months, the problem is, or even years, even small amounts of lead can lead to serious health problems, reduced sperm count, miscarriages and stillbirth. Investigators also found it offered free vouchers in return for personal data and through general gaming and whiz-bang spinning wheel options in your face as well whenever it could. Beware, nothing is as it seems. For the record, Temu said it had pulled those silver and gold items from sale. Great. I feel so reassured by all of that, don't you? At number 2, are you aware of the weaponised incompetence? When one partner does things so badly, the other one steps in and takes over. Men might take too long to get the kids ready for school or be hopeless for getting half the groceries or whatever each week. So the wife steps in. This might be weaponised incompetence, say the experts in Australia. Faking incompetence to seek control over your partner. It's believed that women across the ditch spend 8 hours more per week than men on unpaid domestic work. Now, women in New Zealand in the last survey on this subject spent 14 hours a week more than men on unpaid work, but men spent 14 hours more than women on paid work. Do I feel like an argument might be coming on here? And at number 3 is winning tonight's $43 million Lotto draw your retirement plan. Surely not. Shockingly, for 1 in 4 of you, it is. Enable Me surveyed 800 Kiwis, and 24% of you, or 1 in every 4 respondents, said winning Lotto was how they planned to live comfortably in retirement. They had no plan B. Can I suggest a phone call to Enable Me? It's time to talk. Seriously.
Duncan Garner.
Right, 0800 863 293. I want to look at digital devices, our kids, and that shortly. But feedback, Forrester, take it away. Feedback from TikTok, Forrester. What have we got?
Let's do this. All right, we put a poll out yesterday.
Yes.
And I think after hearing from a statistician, our audience might be slightly delusional. They think that 47% of them think that they might one day win Lotto.
47%. They think they might win Lotto. 47%. They're deluded.
Well, after hearing from Enable Me, and yes, I think so.
Yeah. Other feedback that's come in, Duncan, this is why we took lead out of the petrol. Yep, that makes sense. I've never put money into Lotto, says Dave, because years ago I heard these numbers and I've never been able to spend the money again on Lotto. See, that's the thing. Once you hear these numbers, you can't stop hearing them. Anything else on TikTok there, Forrester?
Just having a look.
Yep.
People saying your chances of winning a ticket aren't 0. So they're looking forward to winning, I guess.
Yeah, God, it's sort of earth shattering when people hear this, don't they? Also here, Wales said to me, Duncan, last time I had a decent win on Lotto was about $100. I dream of the big one, to be frank. See, people, this is the problem, people. They dream of the big one. This is the problem. Duncan, James says, haven't taken a Lotto ticket in years. You should take them with the prizes, but just see it as a waste of money. I've probably spent more money in my lifetime on Lotto than I've won. Yeah, well, that's, 0800 863 293 is the number. Tux has said to me, Duncan, if I win Lotto, I ain't telling or helping no one because problems will follow. That's the thing. If you won Lotto, would you tell anybody? Let me know. If you won Lotto, would you keep it to yourself? 0800 863 293. I think I would. I think I'd have to, because you wouldn't be able to you wouldn't be able to cope keeping it secret, would you? I don't know. I think I'd tell people. Let me know. 0800 863 293. Keep the feedback coming in. Right, now, do you worry how often your kids are consumed by their device? And what on earth is so interesting? Try taking it off them and the World War III just erupts in front of you, doesn't it? Have you noticed how protective they are of their phones and how it can alter their behaviour? Rory Birkbeck set up Safe Surfer, technology that parents can use to block porn and other dangerous content in your house. Now he has partnered with Samsung to create a safe phone, so where they're not on the home Wi-Fi, kids are still protected. Just how bad is it out there and what's it doing to our kids? I've I've got some seriously great news to share, and hopefully Rory can show you how this works. But g'day, nice to see you. Welcome to the program.
Good morning, Duncan.
Why did you do this initially? What triggered you?
Yeah, so about 8 years ago, I started off on this journey just to protect my own kids with a friend.
Yep.
And as we sort of progressed, I just saw how desperately bad the situation was online. And coming from a tech background, particularly, I just saw the issues with advocacy, education, and technology. And technology is really my space. And so just started building online safety products, and now we've got online safety products that are used all around the world.
This is music to the ears of parents like me. So I've got 4 kids, but the last one's 13, so he's always on his phone. They protect themselves with their phones, so you don't really see it. I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, so this
I
week...
do know there's sexual content all around these kids now, right?
Oh, absolutely. And look, before we dive into the issue,
sure.
We're really excited this week to announce that we've partnered with Samsung to release a kids-safe smartphone and
So how does that work?
Range of tablets. Yeah, so it's a phone that is basically just kind of calls and texts, but it is a smartphone.
Yep.
And then as the parent is kind of ready, they can step up and they can give additional apps and features of the phone when they feel like the child is kind of matured enough.
So it's a device that's limited then, is it? It's limited in it's what it can do.
It's limited.
That's great.
Yeah, and
Finally.
I think the key thing is that it's built safe by design.
Yeah.
So the real issue that we have seen with a lot of parental controls is that they don't work.
Because they get around them, eh?
That's right, exactly. And so what we have to do with safety is we have to actually build it in at the heart of the design phase.
Yeah.
And
So
it can't be an afterthought.
Is this the first of its kind then?
This is the first of its kind in terms of this partnership.
Yep.
And so, it's going to roll out to the rest of the world.
Which kids will want this though? Which kids want to sort of get the phone that takes them down to Lollipop Land rather than the ones that takes them onto the, where all the other guys are?
Yeah, so the really cool thing about this phone is you can see it looks exactly like a smartphone.
It does.
There's really no kind of difference.
Yeah.
So I think, kids are going to feel really cool about having this phone.
Yeah, but then they can't get on where everyone else is.
Well, look, I think that there's a collective action that is needed by parents.
So do I. Because how do you feel? Where are we at?
Oh, look, I think we've got a huge way to go, and I think there's a real outcry that's starting to happen from parents that I can see, and so
has the horse not bolted?
No, I don't believe the horse is bolted. I believe that we can pull it back. And I believe that we can use technology for good again. Right.
So where do we buy these things? So these are available in the shops?
Yeah, that's right. So you can buy them from our website, kidssafephone.nz, or the Samsung online store will be up later on today.
So that's good. So it's basically just it's a limited device.
It's a limited device, but it's also highly monitored. So it's monitoring the screen for any kind of nudity and detecting parents for any kind of self-harm, bullying, pornography. So there's a lot of that's gone into the heart of this phone.
Look at Temu. I mean, I was talking about Temu just before. So Temu has got, apart from having a few dodgy products on there, it's got the gaming stuff, all the whiz-bang stuff. So it's and the data collection. So the data collection with Temu is that you get $50 and then you give them their data. You give them your data and they've got it for life. We're just opening ourselves up to the world, and it's not a good place.
It's absolutely astounding, just like if you look at the world around us, if there's a product on a shelf that hurts a child, it's instantly recalled all the products off the shelf.
Yeah, that's right, because it might affect them.
In the online world, this does not happen. And so we have got a huge way to go. And I think our time and attention has been just taken by a lot of these companies.
But also, someone said to me recently that the phone companies and the techs have got together so they will sense the anxiety of kids as well. So how many times they're pumping the buttons and things, and then they will exploit that as well. Is that true?
Absolutely. Look, there's algorithms and there's doom scrolling and, there's kind of polarization the more that you go towards that content, which is why parents really need to delay. But I guess the thing that I want to point out with this particular phone and tablet that we've developed is we've thought really hard about privacy, safety and security. Yep. So how can we put those at the heart of where they should be, and how can we return to a place where we're actually honouring our kids' time and attention?
Yeah. And so the price of these things, is it the same price as a normal phone?
It is. So, they range from sort of $299 to about $550. And they're a great range of Samsung devices. There's sort of a 12-month subscription that you get for free.
Yep.
And then after that, you can basically sign up for our Pro.
Where's this been? I mean, it's good on you. Good on you. As
Thanks,
well.
Duncan.
But this should have been around a number of years ago, because we've been bloody guinea pigs.
Absolutely.
As parents, we haven't known what to do.
Yeah. No, it's
We've cried for help.
You have, and I've talked to thousands of parents, and so for me, it's just a real reassurance to get to this point and to go, actually, this solution is now available for families.
I think it is. Kids have taken their own lives because of what's going on online, and a world that is fake, in a world that is hype and bullshit and doesn't actually exist. I took a bunch of kids, 4 kids fishing, end of last year. Took them down to Point Chev Rocks, and I wanted to. It was a test, just because they're all 13-year-old boys, right? All on their phones. I wanted to see who could fish without picking up the phone. They all were on their phones within 2 minutes. Fish weren't biting, to be fair. Yeah. And then I took them out for a burger on the way home, and I said, "Tell me how much time you've spent on them this week so far." This was a Tuesday. The longest was 27 hours for one boy.
Yeah.
27 hours, and it was only Tuesday.
Yeah. No, it's
has he slept?
Yeah, it's absolutely unbelievable. The time and attention, as I say, of our kids has just been captivated, and I hear so many heartbreaking stories, and I guess that is what has kind of made me just progress on into this journey. And I think it's really cool that we are actually starting to take notice now of child safety online, because it has, there are so many heartbreaking stories out there.
Like here we are, looking out for the creepy guy in the white van outside the school, and the cops will nail that guy, whatever. But what about the creeps online? And maybe they're corporate creeps, and maybe and it has been shown this. These big AI firms, all the stuff that's happening to our kids. Oh, I was going to say we can't beat it almost,
Yeah, look, I think the real key is to delay the tech, and for parents to actually have real control over exactly what their kids are using and when. And as I say, I think that there's a real collective action that's needed from parents to actually delay social media. So we're starting to see a lot of talk now about smartphones, about social media. And so, it really is about parents kind of coming together and deciding they're not going to...
What age should kids get a device?
Yeah, look, so I think it's really about when the child is ready to kind of be connected. And so I think, just calls and texts, obviously, is just what parents kind of need to figure out for their kid, and every kid is different. But I think the real decision that parents probably need to make is when they start adding some of those addictive apps.
Yeah, but with these devices that you've got, you can add the addiction when you're ready. Is that what you're saying?
You can step up. So there's 3 different profiles that you can kind of step up to. So there's kind of a calls and texts, and then you can step up to the next profile, which is the Explorer profile. And that might be good if you just want an additional app for, say, education, for example, like Epic, which is an amazing reading app, because there's lots of really good tech that helps kids.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to get caught into the spiral of,
but this is the world they live in too. So we can't stop them from engagement with the world. And now if we stop them from engagement with the world, they might be behind the pace. So it's a fine line, isn't it?
There is a very fine line, but I think the line is that it's parents picking and choosing a couple of key apps that their kids need and being fully aware of all of the dangers.
What's the one you'd keep kids off? What's the? I mean, I TikTok did my head in a little while ago. Hi TikTok, because I'm talking about you. But what are you saying?
Yeah, look, I think we really need to delay Snapchat, TikTok, the likes of those.
Snapchat. I've seen a bit of aggro at school on this in the last few weeks.
Yeah, look,
fights being organised and shit like that,
Yeah, they're just the way that they are targeted at a youth audience, so they're made to look really cool, and so every child wants it, every child, and lots of kids have it, but the reality is that the algorithms that are going behind it, the actual people who are on it, and the safety that isn't built in at this point just makes it quite concerning.
What do these big companies? What do they want to achieve? What do they want? What's the end result? What do they want? They want to achieve control.
Look, I think it's just time and attention. As I say, it's a commodity now. So it really is for them key to monetize in that way, and we've allowed them to.
They turn into gambling, turn to watching porn. Click here, give money here.
Look, I think that there is all of that out there. But I think that as I say, like we really need to return to tech that, and this is why we as ethical developers would say, you know, we need to return to tech which is actually designed for us and not for our human frailty. So it's designed, you know, to honour our time and attention and our kids' time and attention.
How many have you sold so far? Or was it
Look,
fresh?
we've had massive interest since we launched, and we've just started. I haven't had a look at the sales yet, but yeah, I think it's
It'll happen. Okay, Rory, appreciate your time on the program. Thanks so much.
Duncan.
Okay, now, number of texts coming in as well, 0800 863 293. Duncan, if I win Lotto, no one will know. Okay, thanks for that. David said, Duncan, your title cards on the screen are cutting off people's names, so just thought I'd let you know. Thank you, David. I appreciate that. You're an associate producer out there in the sticks. Appreciate that, mate. Also, Octodad has said, Duncan, if I won Lotto, I would round up at-risk kids under 14 and take them to Camp Raglan 4 times a year. That's what we're talking about, Marty. Camp Raglan 4 times a year. If you take kids out into the wilderness, into the sticks, that's why this stuff with the cops is working. The cops are doing good work in this. I know some of you won't want to hear this, but this is how it goes. The cops grab most of these kids who rambrate and they take them fishing. 4 guys from different regions, they take them fishing and try and turn their lives around. Now, your son may not, may be a good boy and doesn't get the chance to go fishing. You say, well, my boy must go fishing. But these are bad kids from the wrong side of the tracks, and they're not going to jail or even caught. They're going fishing with the cops, and the cops have had a 70% success rate in this. But the government doesn't tell you this because they're poor communicators. But I've seen the data, and it's really good. You know, there's something to crow about there. I'd crow about it if I was them. We've got a focal, have we? 0800 863 293. Also, Marty has said to me, Duncan, all bran honey and yogurt. What, that's going to change kids' lives? All bran honey and yogurt. And also here, Duncan, my kids have Space Talk watches and managed tablets we control. TikTok, you say? TikTok is what? Well, if I... Yeah, that's from TikTok, yeah? So my kids have Space Talk watches and managed tablets that we control. See, this is the answer. But which parents have the time to organise this and oversee it and do it? That's one of the issues too. Duncan, good morning. Beautiful sunrise here in Lake Karapiro. James has said coffee and porridge from me. And Troy said, watching from the North Shore. Love your show, Dunk. Thanks, Troy. Appreciate that, mate. We love a good Troy. Eh? A good Troy from the shore. It's 0800 863 293. That's us. I think we might. To me, I'll be really upfront with you today. It's been an absolute nightmare. We've had all sorts of gremlins and all sorts of things in the system that has been a nightmare. And we've just held it together. We've just glued and patched it so you basically wouldn't know. But I tell you what, we've got 2 on ahead this morning. I'm being honest with you because I can show you the plumbing of the place. And other good news, the trees are still in the studio, so they haven't been taken by anyone. We do believe that they came from another office within here, and people are looking for them now. So clearly they're not watching the show because they haven't found them, they haven't seen them. But these are now ours. Possession's 9/10 of the law, so we own these things now too. Say again, Forrester. Bring Forrester on. Forrester, are you there, mate?
Yep. Someone says, who wins Super Rugby?
Well, for a start, let's just rate Forrester's. Let's just rate Forrester's haircut for a start. Forrester's had a mullet because he must be more like me. So I'm giving that how much did you pay for that, Forrester?
45, mate.
45 for a man's haircut.
Is this the new inflation?
Well, I'll ask people. Is $45 too much for a man's haircut? It's a simple question. We used to get away with sort of $15. When did it go to 45?
Should be that, yeah.
45. Do you get a blow wave? Oh, anything else?
Nah.
That's it.
No, nothing.
Do you think you look better?
Nah, that's questionable.
Anyway, what else you got there, Forrester?
Oh, people saying hello from Dubai. With those Space Talk watches, lots of people interested, asking, I believe they're things you just strap to your wrist for your kids, and it just gives you like...
handcuffs. Keep away from technology. Yeah, right. Hey, when did you first get a device, Forrester?
I had one quite late. I was maybe 15.
15?
Yeah.
What did you do for the first 15 years?
Nothing. Went outside.
Oh, old-fashioned. You built a hut.
Yeah, I know. You never hear of it these days.
I know.
Other people saying, good to have you on the airwaves again. Followed you from Today FM, editor-in-chief podcast, and now on this, staying as a follower. That's from Cameron.
Cameron, tell your friends.
Yeah.
Spread this far and wide, because if you don't spread it far and wide, we're dead meat.
$50 here in Tokoroa for a fade.
$50 for a fade in Tokoroa?
Yep.
Well, hang on, it's going to cost us $50 gas to get there, to get the fade. That's $100 fade.
Yep,
$50 back, $150 fade. Yeah. Actually, Tokoroa is potentially the new housing solution to Auckland. Only 2 hours 20 from Auckland. and cheap housing. Don't underestimate Tokoroa. Good bakeries out the front there, good car parks, good public toilets. It's not a bad place. Anything else, Forrester, while you're still on the line?
Yeah, plenty of people just saying $45 seems normal.
$45 seems
Other people saying $45 daylight robbery. I pay $25 to $30 in palmy/fielding.
Yeah, but Jamie says he pays that for a basic haircut.
Basic haircut, yeah.
Yeah. What do you think of my haircut?
I think it's pretty good. You're rocking a mullet as well, right?
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I haven't had a haircut in 2 years. I've done it myself.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got my flatmates to do
Tough
it
times,
sometimes.
mate. Tough times. Yeah, and it's also my son will do it now and then too, but he tries to rinse me, make me look silly. That's us. Forrester, thank you, mate. Well, it's a nice
No
little
worries.
cameo from you, eh? That is us. This will be available as a podcast on Rover shortly and wherever you get your podcast. I do appreciate all the feedback. Thanks for all your feedback and support.
And our
I'm
phones
Duncan.
are fixed for tomorrow.
What's that, mate?
Our phones are fixed for tomorrow, so you can ring in again.
Oh, were they routed this morning?
Yeah, just this morning.
And you've only told me that now at 8:10. I knew there was a gremlin in the system. Yeah, there's a gremlin in the system. What am I going to do? To my team, Miranda, Isaac, Zarina, Forrester, thank you guys. We'll do this all again tomorrow, but even better. And remember, life isn't a dress rehearsal. There is no curtain raiser. This is it. It's still one of the best places on earth to live, so go out and enjoy it and take care, New Zealand. Ta-ta.
That was Duncan Garner, Editor-in-Chief Live. Missed something on the live stream? Text Duncan to 3598 to listen back on the podcast. Want to get in touch? Call 0800 863 293.